Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play the entirety of this video without any interruptions, and then I will go back and talk about things that are going on and better explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that were done right and or done wrong. Without further ado, here we go.
On October 6, 2021 at 12:09 a.m., an officer-involved shooting occurred in the 1200 block of Texas Street in Bakersfield, California. The following presentation is intended to help bring context to the facts surrounding this case. The following presentation contains a map of the location of the incident, radio traffic, body-worn camera video, live streamer video, and photos of the scene. Some of the audio and video has been edited to protect the privacy of the victims involved and to avoid the release of information that state law prohibits the Sheriff's Office from releasing. The redactions and edits do not affect the depiction of events presented in the video. Some of the audio and visuals we're about to present may be disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. On October 5, 2021 at 10:35 p.m., Kern County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to the 700 block of Knott Street for a domestic violence investigation.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's Knott Street.
Do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police. Somebody's driving around in a Volkswagen, a blue bug.
Okay.
I'm not sure the exact year, but they had pushed a woman down, and she said that he has a gun.
Okay, who told you this information?
It's my mom. She called me.
Oh, okay. Is there any way that we
It's
can
my
get more?
stepdad that's running around. Yeah.
Deputies responded to the scene and located the victim. Deputies discovered the suspect had assaulted and threatened the victim with a firearm. Deputies obtained probable cause to arrest the suspect for domestic violence, brandishing a firearm, and criminal threats. Through their investigation, deputies learned the suspect could possibly be hiding out at a residence in the 1200 block of Texas Street. Deputies requested the air support unit conduct a flyover of the neighborhood to search for the suspect vehicle, which deputies determined to be a Ford SUV. The air support unit responded and located the suspect vehicle in the 1200 block of Texas Street. Deputies arrived at approximately 11:45 p.m. and began to formulate a plan to conduct call-outs to the residents. Deputies quickly determined the suspect was reclined in the front seat of the suspect vehicle and immediately attempted to initiate a high-risk traffic stop. Deputies initiated call-outs to the suspect in both English and Spanish, but the suspect refused to comply. The suspect was actively looking around, gauging the positions of deputies at the scene. The suspect then exited the vehicle and pointed his firearm at deputies, and an officer-involved shooting occurred. The following video is from the department-issued body-worn camera of Deputy Andrew Bassett. Please note, the body camera does not capture everything the deputy sees, and the deputy does not see everything the body camera captures.
Bedolla! The Kern County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit! Come out of the car! You're under arrest! Come out with your hands up!
He just locked the door. You sitting up? Here he goes. Watch this guy.
Hey, policía!
He's coming out. Hey, he's got a gun. Drop the gun.
The following video, captured by a live streamer, shows the same scene from a different angle.
Oh shit, he's got a gun! Oh shit!
The following video is from the department-issued body-worn camera of Deputy Robert Fisher. Deputy Fisher released his canine partner when the suspect exited his vehicle, seconds before the officer-involved shooting occurred.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, come on, your hands up. Come out, go good. Fast!
Once deputies were able to safely determine the suspect was no longer a threat, Deputy Fisher removed his canine. The suspect, identified as Fidel Bedolla, age 55, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Here's a closer look at the suspect's firearm. The gun was determined to be stolen out of Sacramento. Homicide detectives responded to the scene to assume the investigation. 6 members of the sheriff's office were placed on administrative leave pending completion of the investigation. The following personnel were placed on routine administrative leave. The Kern County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit investigates any use of deadly force by any member of the department. Their findings have been submitted to the Kern County District Attorney's Office for criminal review. On October 28, 2021, the Kern County Sheriff's Office convened an incident review board examining the use of force in this incident. The use of force in this case was determined to be within department policy.
All right, let's get back into it.
The use of force in this case was determined to be...
No shit. Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious from the video. But, you know, there's still going to be those some people who are like, oh, well, the police investigated themselves. Of course they said they're exonerated. You could have a freaking 3D camera set up, capturing everything going on. And there would still be idiots after watching something so obvious like this who would still talk crap and insinuate that the police did something wrong and they're covering it up. I'm starting to think that these people also probably believe that the earth is flat because they're fucking stupid. All right, so they had pulled up to the house to go arrest the guy, and they figured out he was in his car. So they went ahead and did their thing, try to initiate a felony traffic stop here, or at least go for, even though he wasn't driving around and they pulled him over. He just happened to be in his vehicle. They just went ahead and started to proceed with this as if they were going to be doing a felony traffic stop. So we see that this officer over here, directly in the door, has a 12-gauge shotgun, and it does appear as though he has a live shotgun, a lethal shotgun. This officer right here, whose camera we're watching, has a less than lethal device. This is an Fabrique Nationale 303, I want to say it is. Let me look real quick. Yep, this is a FN 303. Has a little 15-round drum magazine to fire the projectiles out of. Has a compressed air canister. You can't see it very well from this angle, but the compressed can is basically on the other side of the gun, alongside the barrel kind of area. I think this is the first time I've seen one of these in a body camera type of incident. Usually you see like the traditional pepper ball gun that's basically a freaking paintball gun with a hopper on top. And those are a little bit cheaper, and they're just more traditional. Something like this is a little bit more exotic, I guess you could say. There's also another company, I forget their name, but they produce an AR-15 style looking pepper ball gun that even has like a detachable magazine on it. So it's almost like an AR-15, except it's just a big old pepper ball gun. And there are paintball guns that are made to look like ARs, but they still have those little big cumbersome looking hoppers on top. But anyway, kind of cool to see something like this in here. Like I said, I don't think I've seen anything like this one before, at least in OIS videos.
Come out with your hands.
You sitting up?
Excuse me. So I like how they've got long guns out. He's got a shotgun. And I don't recall if you get to see very well who's off here to the left and what they got. Yep, so he's got a rifle. All right, so awesome. Love it. Usually that's one of my gripes in these videos is a lack of long guns being utilized. So I'm happy to see that he has a shotgun and he has a rifle. So they've got good lethal cover. When you know that an incident involves gunplay or has a very increased chance of there being some gunplay involved or a deadly physical encounter being involved, it is always best to have a rifle. Rifles outperform pistols every day of the week. The only reason why pistols are carried is because they're comfortable and convenient. You can carry them all damn day on your side, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't become uncomfortable. It's manageable. You can't carry a rifle every single day, all day, multiple hours a day. It gets old. It starts to hurt. The police aren't getting involved in gunfights every single day, so there's no need to carry rifles every single day. A pistol is suffice to be able to have on you, even though it does not perform like a rifle. It sucks in comparison to a rifle. Even though all that, it still has the ability to incapacitate. It still has lethality. And it's sufficed enough to be able to carry around on a daily basis and be able to utilize when something suddenly and rapidly evolves into a deadly situation. It's okay for that because it can still work. But if you're going into something that, like I said, there is gunplay involved, someone's been shooting at someone, someone's carrying a gun around, you don't bring a pistol. A pistol is for surprise moments. Like you've pulled someone over for something silly, taillight out, talking to them, and then boom, they produce a pistol. That's sudden and rapidly evolving tense situation. That's surprise. This right here, they knew they were going up to something. They knew they were going to a guy who has been involved in some violence against a spouse, or not a spouse, but a partner, a domestic assault kind of thing, and has brandished a firearm. That's gunplay. You bring rifles for that, or shotguns. So I'm happy to see these two have that stuff out. This one officer has less lethal out. So although they got lethal cover, they're still going to be operating off the mindset of, well, maybe, if the opportunity presents itself, utilize a less lethal option to gain compliance out of the guy if he ends up becoming non-compliant. That's great. They've got options in place, right? They don't just have one option. They got two options.
You just locked the door. Hey, Policía! Coming out! Hey, he's got a gun! Drop the gun!
So he hears gun. He does the right thing. This less lethal option, this less lethal gun, is not what you want to use in a gunfight. So he immediately goes port down on it and goes the pistol.
Drop the gun!
Now something happens to his
Drop the
pistol.
gun! Drop the gun!
He fires and then he has to perform a tap rack. I don't know what happened. It's possible when he was firing one-handed, probably ended up getting a type 2 malfunction. Probably had a stovepipe, right? Probably had some casing sticking out. That happens sometimes when you fire one-handed. It happened, and he worked through it pretty quick. I like what I see in this video. You got guys out with long guns, doing the right thing, having those out. This guy does a quick transition from less lethal to lethal, experiences a malfunction, and clears it quickly. Like, there is no hesitation when he does this. He doesn't pause and look at the gun and then start trying to finger fuck it. He automatically tap rack, get the gun back in the fight.
The following video captured.
So this is actually a better video. It's way better than the body cameras. So live streamers, there's another term for well, I don't know if this person with this video does like professional or amateur kind of I want to say news reporting, but capturing of stuff. But there are people in some of these bigger cities who they make a living going around to calls and recording stuff, and they sell the footage to the news media. There was a movie, I want to say it's called Nightcrawler, with oh man, I forgot the actor's name. He played in the movie oh shit, I forgot the End of Watch. It's like Gilly Hyde or something like that. I forgot his name. He played in Bubble Boy. Yeah, Nightcrawler. So it came out in 2014. Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But he does this work where he goes around and films accident scenes and listens to the police scanner and goes to stuff and records all the stuff, and he sells that stuff to local news, and they end up using it in their shots. It's kind of like a freelance journalist in a way, I guess you could say. And so I don't know if this is what's going on, like this person with the camera is one of those people, and they happen to get this footage, or if it's just someone in the area who heard all the commotion, they live there, and they decided that they were going to record the whole thing to get some likes on the gram. Or some likes on Facebook, on the Book of Faces. But it has a really good angle and pretty good clarity, too.
Oh shit, he's got to go.
This dude has, I mean, I say no hesitation, but obviously he's sat in the vehicle long enough. You can consider that hesitation, but as soon as he pops his door open, no hesitation. He turns and points the gun at the officers. This is, I guess this is classic suicide by police kind of thing. This guy, he wanted to die. Happens a lot. It's unfortunate. And it sucks that these people put these officers in the position to have to use deadly physical force. I mean, if the dude wanted to die, why didn't he just pop himself? I mean, he had the gun. He could have very easily have done that. But instead, he wanted to be an asshole and force the officers to have to shoot him. So although these kind of scenarios are sad, like this person's going through some really bad shit in his life, suicidal, yes, that's sad. I feel for that. However, at the same time, his actions of forcing other good people to have to kill him, that's fucked up. That's an asshole move. I hate that shit.
Oh shit!
The fall.
And this also gives you kind of a more perspective of all the people here. So this officer right here, so not only does he have rifle, but he's also taking pretty good cover. He's behind the engine right here. So good positioning on him. The car doors, so car doors are not good places for cover. They're really not. They suck ass. This officer who appeared to be to the rear.
It's gotta go.
Well, let it play out. This officer who appeared to be right here at the rear of the vehicle, that's a better place to be at because you have more mass between you and the threat. Most importantly, that big ass engine block up front. Other than that, like you've got the grill, radiator, engine block, firewall, dashboard, seats, cage, seats, stuff in the cargo hold, and rear cargo door. That handgun round ain't going through all that shit. Handgun round is not going through this engine block. If the skin of this vehicle is high enough, then it's conceivable that a bullet could enter in through the top of the fender here, go through dead space that doesn't hit anything, and come out the other and be able to go out the other side of this other fender. That's plausible. But these doors, they suck for cover. A little 22 will go through and through, no problem whatsoever. So I don't advocate using doors on vehicles as cover because they don't work. It's more like concealment, really. And obviously, you know, if you're watching this, you should know that there's a difference between cover and concealment. But there are some people who don't understand that concept that watch this channel, as evident by some of my other videos where a bunch of idiots are commenting on there. The type of people who say, well, couldn't they just shot him in the leg? So concealment is something that just conceals you. It kind of hides you, but it does not stop bullets, like bushes, car doors. Cover is something that stops bullets and can also provide some form of concealment to you. So this officer over here, good positioning, good cover. These two, they're not covered at all. This guy's not covered at all whatsoever. He's completely out in the open. Nothing between him and the bad guy but his vest. This officer has just a car door. This officer has the entire freaking car between him and the suspect.
Oh shit!
And then, oops.
Oh shit!
And then this officer over here, who also appears to have a rifle out. I can't tell what this guy's got. He could have a rifle or he could have a pistol. So there are at least 3 long guns in play here. And then, actually, you know what? I think this might be the K9 guy. Yeah, that might make sense. He might have the dog there. So, 3 long guns and a pistol.
The following video is from the Canine partner when the suspect exited his vehicle, seconds before the officer-involved shooting occurred.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so that's, well, I don't know. That might not have been the guy we saw hunched down because he seems to be right here at the car door. So if he's right here by an open car door, we shouldn't have seen him at the back of the vehicle. Well, I think he backs up some. Hold on. Yeah, so he ends up backing some.
Once deputies were...
So that, well, still, he's pretty close up to here. So, I don't know. We might not have seen him in that last shot. Obviously, there's no footage from, this officer over here. And then if there was an officer behind the K9 guy, we don't have any footage from him or the one who's over there behind the car. And it's possible that they did have that footage, but they didn't include it because you don't see anything. Which that happens when you take cover behind objects. A lot of times, the camera will just capture the cover. It's like if you're down behind the hood of a vehicle, that's all that camera captures is the fender on that vehicle. That's it. So that actually happens quite a bit. And that could have been what happened here, and they decided not to include the footage. So he released the dog, and the dog goes forward, and then they start shooting. Luckily, the dog wasn't hit. Sadly, that does happen sometimes. The dog gets released and goes up and bites, or is about to bite, and a gun comes out, and people deliver lethal force, and the dog gets caught in the crossfire and ends up getting hit and killed. Like I said, this obviously didn't happen in this one, and we're fortunate, lucky that it didn't happen. It's never good when a K9 goes down, even though that's what they're there for.
Oh shit! He's
They're
got
there to die before a human dies. I mean, realistically, the dogs are a tool. They're a tool just like a baton is a tool, a handgun is a tool. That's all they are. Yes, they do resemble regular pets. They still wag their tail at you and stuff like that. But working dogs are tools. And part of their purpose is to be able to die before a human dies. But it still sucks when it happens. So you actually see the dog very quickly go out and through this area. And I'll hit play again, and you'll just see him run really quick through here.
Shit! He's got to go. Oh shit! Oh shit!
And then you can see his tail wagging as he got up on him. So you see him. Actually, the dog kind of seems to run a little bit past the guy.
Oh shit!
And then you see his tail wagging.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
There's really not much else to talk about. I do wish that when they say a firearm stolen, I do wish they would provide more information about the circumstances behind that. Like, where was this gun stolen from? Because that is something I think is important for people to know. There's a lot of guns that end up getting stolen out of cars. And those guns end up being used in crimes. People will leave the guns in their car, and sometimes they forget to lock their car. And so some people will walk around they call it car hopping, and they just basically go around and they jiggle car handles. And if a door's open, they go in and they start rummaging through stuff. A lot of people will leave a gun in a center console, and the center consoles mostly don't lock. So they just open the door that's unlocked, get in, open the console, boom, there's a gun. Sometimes people put them in the glove box. And sometimes there's glove boxes that don't have locks. And same thing, they just open it and there it is. But sometimes there's glove boxes with locks. And some people will neglect to lock that glove box. That's wrong on their part. If they're going to be leaving your gun in the car, you need to be putting it in a locked compartment. Make it harder for someone to get to. Even if you lock your car doors, you still need to be putting it in a locked compartment. Because it's very easy for someone to smash a window and open the car door. If you're going to be leaving your gun in the car, you need to make it inaccessible or inoperable to unauthorized users. Otherwise, you are arming street criminals and you are giving ammo, pun intended, to the anti-gun crowd. Every time someone carelessly leaves a gun in a car unsecured, easily accessible, they're giving more ammo to the anti-gun crowd to get laws passed and infringe upon our rights to take our guns. If you're not going to carry your gun on you, you got to lock it up. Because there's a crap ton of guns being stolen, and ends up being situations like this. Leave your gun at your house when you go to work. You don't need to be leaving it in the nightstand or sitting on top of the nightstand, sitting in the coffee table, tucked under your mattress, on the top shelf of your closet. Those are all horrible places to leave your gun. If someone breaks into your house while you're gone at work, you're gone from the house for 8-10 hours out of the day. Someone breaks in your house and they go look in your nightstand where you keep your gun at. Guess what? You don't have a gun anymore. And that gun could end up being used in a crime to kill an innocent person. Here locally, there was thankfully nothing happened, but there was an incident where a woman had her gun stolen out of her car, and her brother is actually a police officer, and the brother went to go do some extra patrol in that neighborhood for her, since there was her break-in and there were some other car break-ins that had went on. And I want to say that it's a possibility that there was some security camera footage of the suspect, and the officer had come across someone who was suspicious and fitting that description. Or it could have been an eyewitness account. I can't remember which. And that officer went to make contact with that person, and I want to say they ended up running, and officer had to take them down. And I want to say they had the gun on them. Luckily, they didn't go for it or anything like that. But if that person did go for that gun and then pulled that gun and shot and killed that officer, that woman would have had to have lived with the fact that she got her own brother killed by carelessly leaving her fucking gun unsecured in the car. Stop leaving your guns unsecured. Lock them up if you're not going to be carrying them. It's a whole lot harder for someone to steal your damn gun from you if you're wearing the damn thing. Someone comes up trying to steal your gun off of you. Yeah. Not much else to say for this video. This one's a pretty clear-cut video. Not much else to be talking about. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.